Call the meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Dr. Williamson, Mr. Majors,
Yes.
Mr. Denton,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Allen.
Yes. Next item will be the statement by the Board Vice President.
As we begin this meeting, let us pause for a 60-second moment of silence to reflect, meditate, pray, or engage in other silent activity.
Thank you. Next item will be the Pledge of Allegiance led by the Honorable Jerry Denton.
Please stand. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Okay, next item will be the formal adoption of the agenda.
So moved?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Majors,
Yes.
Mr. Denton,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Allen.
Yes. Are we going to have voting buttons on?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, item number 5 will be the vote on the June 26th board meeting minutes. Any questions?
Move approval?
Second.
Motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Majors,
Yes.
Mr. Denton,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Allen.
Yes. Item 6, comments from the public. We do not have any this evening, so we'll move to item 7, will be the consent agenda items. Any questions, conversations on those items?
Move it.
Make,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
make a motion to approve.
Second?
A motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Majors,
Yes.
Mr. Denton,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Allen.
Yes. Number 42 under Human Resources will be Mr. Stecker. Put your name way down here, so it threw me off. Sorry about that. Threw me off.
Good evening, everyone. The item I bring to you tonight is over our Board of Education policy guide. As you know, we've been working on this for a long period of time with a lot of collaboration, so I do ask for you to approve this tonight. The multiple new, revised, and deletion of policies from all sections of the Board of Education policy guide.
Mr. Stecker, I did want to make a comment on this. I know that I've said this in the past, but and I thank staff members for the arduous work that they put in bringing this together and bringing the recommendation forward. But I certainly want to again thank you for the amount of work and also emphasize that this is the second reading. So it has been an item that's been up before the board before. So I just wanted to make that comment.
Mr. Stecker, is this the process which we've gone about doing this? Would you feel that it was a much better process than we had in the past?
For sure.
Or how we address these things?
You know, I know it started back when Mr. Fager was
Yeah.
here, and then really January and February, this tiger really took off. But I think the beautiful part about it, we've had leadership team really taking each one of their sections, forming committees, collaboration, subcommittees. So we've had a lot of input from our staff, which I think really helps the district to make sure our policies are in order with some of the people that are enforcing those as well. So it's been a really good process, and I'm excited about it. I think it's the right direction for the district.
Well, and I too commend Dr. Dunlop for certainly bringing forward the kind of dialogue that we need to be open to change. Change is a good thing, and I think we've made changes where changes are better for the organization. So, thank you.
And I appreciate the efficiency that this provided for us as a board member that approves policy. It was much easier to approach it this way, and I appreciate
would
that.
agree.
And everyone involved that had a hand in that, I want to thank them too. So,
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
got a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Majors,
Yes.
Mr. Denton,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Allen.
Yes, we need some voting buttons, please.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I thought I clicked on it, but. There we go.
Not yet.
Running into technical difficulties.
Are we? Well, we weren't sure it was going to work when we started, so
We're ahead of the
we
game.
thought we're about 40-something items ahead of where we thought we were going to be.
It acts like it's going to move and it's choosing not to.
Okay. I'm okay with doing the old-fashioned pencil.
Okay,
If you guys are fine with that, everyone okay with that?
Mhm.
Okay. Next item, 43, Mr. Blackburn.
Good evening. Today I bring to you our annual report in regards to the District Safe School Committee. The committee is made up of roughly about 15 members of parents, child nutrition individuals, administrators, teachers, etc. And the committee has basically been charged with discussing district safety issues in regards to either emergency drills or emergency manuals, any type of safety issues that is a district issue, and also physical wellness, whether it be in regards to child nutrition or their overall physical health. The four main components that we talked about this year was bullying is always a component that is a concern, especially to our parents. I'm not going to read this verbatim, but I am going to read you the recommendations, but also realize that, and as I've told this committee, we are not a governing body. All we can do is make recommendations to the group and then push those forward to our instructional leaders. But based on the recommendations for the bullying education / prevention, additional research in additional curriculum areas to be implemented this coming school year or the start of the 2018-19 school year. Basically what that means is, although we do provide a program for all of our children, we would like to look and further investigate more robust programs that are out there and continue education throughout the school year, not necessarily falling in the fall or the spring, but throughout the entire school year. Continued teacher and administrative training for understanding and how to report bullying, the use of standardized school climate surveys, the development of a parent university that helps educate parents on these topics. Again, communication and education are key in these areas, and that was something that the parents brought up, that they felt like although we provided information on our website and at the school sites itself, what could we do more? And so this was an idea that was proposed or thrown out there. In the area of health, you'll see that that is actually broken up into 3 different components. Under child nutrition, the recommendation was to develop a nutritional fair for all middle school students. This was piloted at Centennial Middle School in the spring, and although they had great success, this is something that we've talked about maybe pushing out to all of the middle schools if at all possible. Provide parents quarterly nutritional information and federal guidelines regarding nutrition via Peach Jar. Encourage parents to eat district lunch with their children and provide feedback. Continue to investigate less processed items and identify more local and or state farmers who can provide fresh fruits and vegetables. Again, this does not mean that we're not doing that. It just encourages us to continue to seek those items out there. Under growth and development, we actually took some action this past spring in regards to health and staff. Healthy staff was directed to understand or update material regarding puberty and design information to provide to 4th grade girls in 2nd semester of this year. Now, believe it or not, as our nutritional, I guess how do I say this? As our children are growing up and they are becoming more used to processed foods, it is having an effect on their overall puberty. Therefore, we are seeing children, girls, going through puberty quicker than what has happened in the past 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
So, in order to address those issues and help those children, we came up with a program to touch on the subject in regards to their overall puberty. And again, this is only for the girls in the spring. Although we provide this education as 5th graders, we felt like, based on the site's reports, that this is something that we needed to address. Again, a creation of Parent University to provide access to student growth and development information to assist them during this time and in their child's life. This was really in regards to the number of single parents that we're starting to see in the district, and also just to provide them more information, especially when you start thinking about single fathers and how they have these conversations. And some of them won't have this conversation because it's, number one, uncomfortable, and number two, they may not feel like they have enough information to have this discussion with their children. So again, this is something that is a recommendation to see if we can push further and start in baby steps. Review current information regarding AIDS presentation to 10th and 12th grade students. And one that I skipped was a proposal to update board policy, which I believe happened tonight, in regards to the state mandate of presentation material for 6th graders. In the past, we were providing information to 7th graders, but state regs require that we start educating them now in 6th. In regards to physical education, the recommendations are investigate and review grade level physical objectives and develop pillars that can be used across the district, and identify extracurricular and or curricular activities that can be tied to them to encourage physical education as a way of life. So basically, we're talking about what are we teaching in the class, how can we expand that after the school day, and to help improve our physical health in regards to our children. Review the possibility of reviving district track and field meets for elementary students. And again, this is just a work in progress. Develop ways to promote participation in community, city, physical activity events in the classroom and to our parents. You can imagine fun runs, the Rooster Day run that they have, anything we can do to advertise these things to kids, to show and or hopefully get them involved in these types of activities, were some of the things that the committee had recommended. In regards to district emergency drills and safety, last year we proposed not necessarily a requirement, but we suggested that principals actually look at the drills that they perform and look at an unscheduled time to actually perform these drills. Basically a time that's very inconvenient, which would be either passing period or during lunch. The committee would like to recommend that this becomes a requirement, not a suggestion, that at least one of these drills, especially intruder and or tornado, become or be scheduled during a time that's inconvenient, with the idea of identifying any issues that they may have and also be able to prepare themselves in the event that it ever did occur. The last thing is a recommendation was to investigate the cost of an early lightning strike detection equipment that would be out at the high school or at a site where we have a lot of outside sports. Although our trainers and our coaches have handheld devices, the thought process behind this was that if we took out human error, that it could be a safer environment. And again, this is just a recommendation to research. Regarding safe school reports, all of the sites reported all their mandatory reports at the end of January. Those reports were disseminated, and issues that were brought to our attention were handled by operations, and any wish lists for future projects and funding. Safe Schools training site that we currently use and have for the past 3 years is still the primary delivery of all of our safety trainings. I don't have the total in here in front of you, but I believe it was over 19,000 trainings that our employees have received through this program. And some of those, for just your awareness, would be autism awareness, bloodborne pathogens, bullying, recognition and response, child abuse reporting, 504 information, McKinney-Vento, hazardous communication, and FERPA. The last thing is our school emergency response team. We have continued to meet monthly in regards to issues that could occur for the school district. We do tabletop exercises, whether it be a tornado, an intruder scenario, or we have to evacuate the school building. Again, this is all in preparation in the event that we do have to respond to a situation. God forbid that it ever happens, but we do want to be prepared in the event it does.
Mr. Blackburn, I thank you for the detailed report. I just had one question. You noted, and I thank you for doing that, the current district team members that are on there. I'm assuming through the report and the details that you've provided that there are parents or community members too that may potentially be involved. Is that correct? Or are there other members associated to this endeavor?
I apologize. The current district team members that refers to is your school emergency response team.
Okay.
I did not provide the list of.
Okay.
So I apologize.
That's all
for
right.
that.
That's okay. You clarified it. Thank you.
Mr. Blackburn, with the topic of bullying, were there conversations about with social media and those things within that, with either education policy or something like that? I think that's just from a parent and then looking from the outside into a district that that's a growing issue. I've seen videos and things like that posted that are alarming, but do you have much conversation within those committees about those things and what they'd like to see?
We talked full gamut in regards to that, especially the two parents that came to primarily every meeting that we had. Their children are middle school and elementary age. And of course, sexting is a huge issue in regards to students in between the ages of 6th grade on to 10th grade. And then it starts to taper off because they see the damage that can occur. There are videos out there that we have purchased, and actually I piloted with a couple of schools last year in regards to social media. I think the problem is this technology continues to change so quickly. It's purchasing or providing information that's up to date. If it's Snapchat today, it's something Ghost tomorrow, whatever they want to come up with. It's sad as well as you look at these deliveries that they have for these kids. They are intended to shield or protect the individual that is sending information out. And information, for example, on Snapchat can disappear fairly quickly. So it makes it hard for an individual to go back and actually address those individuals that are possibly bullying another child. On rare occasions, our administrators, our parents, have brought to us a copy of that because they've trained their children to take a snap of it and bring it to us to address. But again, it comes back to education. I think that this is a situation where if we get the parent university going or something like that, whatever it morphs into, that we can provide as much information to parents to help them what to look for. But yes, this was something that administrators talked about and parents and teachers as well. This is something that we are going to continue our discussion with once school returns in September to see if there's something we can provide this school year.
Mr. Blackburn, I want to go back to my question. I apologize. I surely didn't ask it correctly, but from the site perspective, we do have community or parent representatives as well as teachers or support staff that are involved on those safe school committees, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, so I didn't ask that exactly correct, so I apologize for that. Thank you.
So you have two layers, just for clarification. You have the site safe school committee, which is required to have two parents that are non-teachers on those committees, and then we have our district committee, which I've also reached out. I reached out to 4 parents. I had 2 consistent parents that came to every meeting that we had.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
Just in regards to some of these recommendations on the drills, I mean, I think those are good ideas as well, too. I think you truly test your readiness by running those drills and not just the tabletop drills. So are those things that, from your perspective, you think will be pretty, I know they're time consuming and a lot of effort in those, but for implementation, is there a big lift for that, or from your perspective?
I don't understand necessarily lift, but
Well, to implement them, I mean, is it just a matter of,
being an ex-principal, I can see that it's not ideal. It's going to make
Certainly.
your day a little bit more uncomfortable. I think that we can do a good job. For example, if we wanted to do it around lunchtime, that we work with child nutrition and let them know that we're going to perform a drill, therefore it's going to be a little bit later for lunch, which will back everything up. And every model that we look at, we always use the high school first because of just the sheer number of students that we're talking about. So it is possible to be done. But the idea is that these situations never happen at ideal times. And again, being an ex-principal, it was easier for me to go ahead and plan it during second hour or third period when I knew majority of the kids were in their classroom, sitting where they needed to be. But every now and then you'd have some outliers. So I think it's important, even though it may disrupt a little bit of the day, well, I shouldn't say because this is not coming from
Right,
me, this is coming from the committee. We felt like it was important that at least to bring this to people's attention.
well, and I think you brought up a very good point. I think if you're initially implementing a safety policy, doing the foundational at a convenient time is a good exercise, but as it matures and to truly test it, I think the recommendations sound, so.
Mr. Denton, I would agree. Most of those things aren't scheduled. So that's how you get better, is finding out where your weaknesses are during a chaotic time. Boy, I'd sure be in favor of seeing them do it at the most inconvenient time possible, just so we can get better as a district.
And I think it's uncomfortable when you identify those weaknesses
Sure.
because you don't want to, your natural instinct is to be defensive. Oh, well, here's what occurred. But the deal is the whole purpose is to make it better.
It's
and
not to be a
safer.
punitive deal, it's to
Right.
get better and make us safer.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what I would hope our district goal is. I'm sure that's why the people serve on the committee, otherwise they wouldn't have made that recommendation, so.
Agreed. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right. Next item, Mr. Stout, item 44.
Thank you, Dr. Dunlop. President Allen, members of the board. Item number 44 is a request to purchase copiers from Drake Systems for $117,504. This is going to be for Timber Ridge and various sites for the next year, and it's funded by bond funds. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Move approval?
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Majors?
Yes.
Mr. Denton?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
We got-
All right,
we
next
got
item.
that.
Mr.
All right.
Stout.
Item number 44 is to purchase security cameras for the new Sequoia Middle School configuration, Options Academy, and also Timber Ridge for $71,700, and this is also funded by bond funds. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Make a motion to approve?
Second?
Hang on just a minute.
Oh,
Sorry.
I have a motion and a second. You can call the roll when you're ready.
There it goes. I'm like,
we jumped ahead.
yeah. Well, we jumped behind.
Or
Yeah.
We're
behind.
catching up.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Number 43. Next item.
There
do
go.
we need to hold off on that since we skipped the one?
We didn't skip
We didn't
anything.
skip
We
it.
may have just
Okay,
voted on that.
there we go.
Just voted on it.
All right, Ms.
Oh, you're
Kelly,
right.
you were the first motion, or,
Actually.
Mr. Denton was the motion. I think you
Okay.
were the
Yes.
second.
sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. All right, Mr. Majors?
Yes.
Mr. Denton?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes. Thank you. Next item, 46, Ms. Enoff.
Good evening, President Allen, Dr. Dunlop, members of the board. Thank you. Just a quick update as we've ended the 16-17 fiscal year. see where we ended up in revenue. Couple $1 million down in state aid. Luckily, ad valorem came in strong for us. Again, I'll reiterate the per pupil number that we ended up with from the SDE was 3,005.60 per pupil, down from 3,050 at midterm. Building fund revenue, again, is mainly driven from ad valorem sources, which came in strong as projected. I just want to emphasize how important it is for the district for our values to continue to go upwards, because our ad valorem is dependent on our net assessed valuation. Child nutrition, everything came in well in this fund. Their revenues and federal and local sources were pretty much what we expected, and they are in good shape. Our general fund expenditures, you can see the dip in salaries and benefit as a direct result of some of the cost-saving procedures that were implemented going into 16-17 from some of the lingering budget cuts we saw in the previous fiscal year. And building fund, I know I've discussed in the past how we've shifted expenses where appropriate to alleviate some general fund, and so building fund can take on some more where it's allowable. And child nutrition, again, is extremely self-sufficient in their own operations for their salary, benefit, workers' comp, food, all that is purchased out of their own fund. So you can see I've tentatively updated the ending fund balance from where I expect will be at around $10 million. We're working right now on the cash estimate of needs audit. That'll fine-tune that figure a little more, and now we're just kind of waiting to see what our preliminary 17-18 allocations will be from the state.
Ms. Ena, if the dip in fund balance is due as a result of the lack of funding, pretty much?
Primarily,
correct?
yeah. I mean, we, chose to use some of fund balance to get us through this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when you're cut $2 million in your state funding, it's a pretty big hit.
Okay.
Our state sources of revenue are about 46% of our revenue budget overall. Ad valorem and foundation aid are pretty much how we operate.
Ms. Ena, if you're going to be attending some meetings later this month that will give you maybe a little bit of a prognosis as to where we might be headed for the current year, so you'll have a little more information potentially.
Yes, the Engage OK conference is tomorrow over at Union, and I'll be in attendance. I believe Matt Holder is giving an FY18 budget presentation at that meeting. We'll see if they have our allocations prepared at that time. When I spoke to him last week, that was their hope and their goal, to be able to release those to the district at that point. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, 47, new business. I see we have none. Next item, 48.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Majors?
Yes.
Mr. Denton?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
World record.